Hello everybody and welcome to a special Age of Magic Halloween video. So as you can see, our background here, we've got some spooky green lights, there's pumpkins, there's a little witch floating around, and there is actually an event where you can earn keys to summon bosses that aren't normally available. So if we go into events here, we actually have the main mystery where you can get echo keys. Now they do give you characters to use for these stages, all except for the last. These stages are all pretty easy to complete, but the final stage is a little bit difficult because you can only use the newest heroes, Fatirishi or the Cursed Circus, and all of my Cursed Circus are equipment level 11 or higher, and it's still a little bit tough. So let me know your experiences with that in the comments below. Anyway, moving on. There are also a lot of events going on during this. This is called Horrorween. This goes on for the entire month of October. Probably should have done this video a little earlier, but you know what? I have been busy with work. So as you can see, there's a lot of events. For instance, at the time that I filmed this, we had Silver Protection, which is spend silver. You can summon heroes, you can spend energy, there's arcane chests, there's all kinds of things going on that you can earn points. And then you get the special currency that you can spend in the shop. There's also some other mini events such as Fate cards, we'll get Astral Oracle, and then we'll get Oakley's Tricks. And then the summonable here, as you can see, it's called the Boss Hunt. You can use these special summoning keys you get, and you can only get like rarer heroes from this that normally have a pretty low drop rate in regular summons, which is pretty cool, and you can select which boss that you want to try to get. Moving on, we've got the Horrorween shop, so I do want to go over this with you. Most of this stuff up front that costs real money, we're going to ignore that. But here, as you can see, you can exchange the spooky purple coins for triumph keys, if that's something you're interested in. There is also a witch's portrait for 20,000 shadow coins, which is super exciting and spooky and something I might be interested in. Then the rest of this here, like I said, more real money packs, we're ignoring those. More event stuff, we're ignoring that. You can also exchange 20,000 shadow coins for boss medallions. And if you don't have a medallion for that boss, you might be interested in that as well, because that could be a good source of power for your character. There's also available the Arcane Stars in exchange for Shadow Talismans for some of the bosses available only during the event. We're going to ignore these silver token items because you can get stuff like that normally. We're going to ignore like the silver cost items because those aren't really worth it in my opinion. And then there are some hero shards here. You can get shards for most of the Cursed Circus. You can get Picky shards. She's the healer. Oakley is a good damager. There's Lola of the Renegades. There is Circella, who's one of the newer melee heroes. And you get 10 shards for each of these that you exchange, and there's also Gozo. So if I had to give an opinion on which ones you should go for first, I would probably go for Gozo and Picky, then Oakley, and then, I like Lola, but if you don't have Cursed Circus, then you definitely need to prioritize all of the Cursed Circus, honestly. And then you can also get Sandvar shards. Sandvar is one of the Fatirishi heroes. He is the tank, so you can also exchange the coins for Sandvar as well. And then moving on to the skins, we have a lot of skins to go over, which I'm very excited about because fashion is the most important thing. So we have Bjorn Fire Skin. He is like the tank, the boss of the Children of the Forest. And you know, honestly, this reminds me a lot of certain Bear Druid skins from World of Warcraft, which I used to play back in the day. So it's kind of nostalgic almost. But this is a very cool skin. And then moving on from Bjorn, we have Seven Knives. And he's got a pirate skin. I can't say this is probably the best, but I do think this is a pretty good skin. At least he's not like totally bald in this. I guess the pirate kind of makes sense. Moving on from Seven Knives, we then have the Blood Emperor, who is a spooky jack-o'-lantern hero. Now, I don't have this hero yet, but I do think that this is a very nice skin. I am totally a fan of this spooky pumpkin head that he's got going on. I'd probably put this maybe in my top 5. I don't know. I would be excited to get him eventually someday, because I just like the jack-o'-lantern head. Moving on from the Blood Emperor, we have the Recon Guard. Now, I can't say that this looks a whole lot different than normal, because he is pretty skeletal normal. He's just got some mummy-ish going on in a combination of both almost Aztec and Egyptian fashion. He's got a fashion mishmash going on. Not the most exciting though, really. And then moving on from the Recon Guard, we have the Blood Priest. And if I had to rate this costume, I would probably put this at number 1, honestly. I think that this little steampunk witch doctor king he's got going on, this is super cool. I love this a whole lot. I'm probably going to get this. I haven't yet decided like how many of the skins I want to get, but I really enjoy this. It really does make me miss playing witch doctor in Diablo 3. Unfortunately, I just don't have any motivation to log into Diablo 3 since they put it in maintenance mode. I've already played all the sets, collected everything there's to collect. But yeah, this does make me nostalgic for that. But I do love the Blood Priest, his little steampunk like doctor. He is super cool. Love it a whole lot. Moving on from the Blood Priest, we then have the Blood Mage. He is doing kind of a vampire king. Now, the only thing that I feel is missing on this, it would be if his staff was actually a glowy red color to match the rest of his outfit. I think normally his staff is like a red or an orange, but I just feel like the glowy red would have matched with his little red vampire suit better. But you know what? I do like him a whole lot, and I'm gonna have to put him up in my favorites with the Blood Priest and the Blood Emperor. So I guess everything that starts with blood kind of has the spookiest costumes, honestly. Moving on from the Blood Mage, we then have Goblinusis the Great, and Goblinusis has kind of a spooky mummy leader thing going on. I'm not really sure what you call this costume. To be honest, I don't really use goblins a whole lot, so I probably wouldn't get this. But you know what? It's great to see some skins, and at least some easily obtainable skins from the event, really. Moving on from Goblinusis, we do have Tsuna. I think I would put her in my top favorite skins. I really like her outfit a whole lot. She's got a spooky witch hat. She's purple. I like purple. I like blue. She's got a bat necklace. I think Tsuna is pretty awesome. This is definitely a good outfit. Definitely in my favorites for sure. Moving on from Tsuna, we have Idril, and she's got kind of like a corpse bride going on, very spooky. Now, I'm not sure if this is in my favorites because I honestly never use this character because she's not particularly strong or anything. However, in terms of spookiness and corpse bride aspect, I really like this costume a whole lot too. Moving on from Idril, we have Kage, and he is doing kind of an Oni demon king going on here. It's not really spooky, however, I don't mind this outfit, but I probably wouldn't prioritize it over the spookiest other outfits so much. But I do think it's a nice outfit. And then after Kage, we do have here Denaya. To be fair, I don't really feel like this outfit is too different from her normal outfit. I mean, I know she's a redhead in her normal outfit, but it's still both kind of the same small fur armor kind of gang where it's not like big and bulky. It's just like barbarian furs and leathers, and I don't know. It's not enough of a costume in my opinion. After Denaya, we then have MayDB. I still don't know how to say her name, so I just say MayDB because I'm not sure how it's otherwise pronounced. But she's got a spooky werewolf costume. This reminds me of the Worgen in World of Warcraft, which does make me a little nostalgic, obviously. But you know what? I think this is a good costume. It at least looks different enough from her normal skin that I think this is pretty good. I mean, it's not in my top 5, but again, I would say this is pretty good. After MayDB, we then have Pride, who is a tank for Children of the Forest. I replaced Pride with Bjorn in my lineup, but you know, I love this glowy green ghost cat. This also reminds me of certain druid skins from World of Warcraft, and you know, I really do like this a whole lot. And then after Pride, we do have Swamp Killer. I'm gonna put Swamp Killer in my top favorite list of spookiness because honestly, I love this outfit a whole lot. This is a really good outfit. Like, it's spooky, it's awesome, I love it. Like, this is my favorite, honestly. Like, I love the Blood Priest, I like the Blood Mage, I like the Blood Emperor, I like Suna, and then I like the Swamp Killer, and those would have to be my top 5. So I'll probably get all of those costumes, honestly, just because having fashionable characters is fashion is love and life, and because I play Warframe and fashion frame is a thing, that's why we know that. And then after Swamp Killer, we do have a few other skins that you could get. Now, there is the Steampunk skin for Sekmon, which is a previous reward from the Magic Pass. I already have that. Same with the Flame Wolfern skin, previous reward from the Magic Pass. But you know what? It's there if you didn't have it before and you did want it. Anyway, that is it for this video reviewing the skins. I hope you enjoyed this spooky holiday preview. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and stay spooky.